All right, guys, we are going to talk about intermediary. What if you are buying or selling a home that is owned, by another, or that is being listed or sold, whatever, by another white line agent? Okay. This happens more than you might think, guys. You might be sharing a property because maybe you shared somebody's, like I shared Eric's post and he goes, "Look at my house, it's beautiful, check it out." And I shared it on my Facebook and my friend goes, "Hey, look, I want to go see it." And they say, "I want to buy it." It happens a little bit more than you think. That is called an intermediary relationship, and you have to advise your client that you are in an intermediary relationship, regardless of which side you are on. It's a really easy form to fill out. You're going to go to your zip forms. I look at intermediates, comes from TAR, and we're going to add the Texas intermediary relationship. What intermediary means, one more time, is the fact that let's back up. You have to remember that the broker owns all listings. Eric owns every single one of our listings. But it's my friend. Doesn't matter. It is Eric's contract. Doesn't matter. Until you become a broker, it is Eric's contract. He'll pay you, but it is Eric's contract. He's responsible. He's ultimately got his neck on the line. If you are representing a buyer and you have a buyer's rep agreement, that is Eric's contract. Okay? If you don't believe me, go look at the forms. They explain it very clearly. What you need to do here is whenever you have two white line agents involved, you need to make sure you identify that. And this is how you do it. Intermediary means there are two people under the same brokerage working. Okay? Pretty easy form that you fill out. So the seller or landlord to the prospect. Okay? Broker's firm. So the seller or landlord and the prospect. So the seller would be, let's say it's Eric's house, and it actually, well, that's probably a bad example, but Fred is selling a house. And so Fred is the seller, and your prospect is John. So we'll put Fred here, and you're working with John, and he goes there. Now, from what broker's firm are we at? White Line Realty. Okay? And we are talking about the property at 214 Short. That's fine. And we'll put today's date. So the seller and the prospect, they haven't bought the house yet. They're a prospective buyer. So we put those two names in here. We put the firm and what property is subject to this. Under this notice, the owner means that the seller or the landlord of the property, and prospect means the above named prospective buyer. Just like I just said, guys, pretty simple. So we go down through this. Now the next is the broker will or will not appoint licensed associates to communicate with, carry out instructions of, and provide options. So ultimately, when you get to this situation, Eric can have the choice to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm pulling you off of this and I'm putting somebody else on." That would make a lot of sense because Eric and I have done some houses together. And he goes, "Colin, you know way too much. This is going to get weird. I'm going to have Ryan sell this house instead." He can pull me off of it. And it's up to the client to decide if he's okay with that. Okay? I would highly recommend that you say the broker will appoint licensed associates to communicate with. And then you go back to them and you say, "Hey, look, he did appoint me." If you say the broker will not, you can say that as well. "Hey, look, I brought you. Are you cool with this?" Great. If not. And then what you're doing is you're going to put in here, if it is will not, or the broker does, the broker will appoint. So Eric's selling it. So Eric's going to be the owner, and Colin's going to represent the prospect. That's how it's going to work. You got to put your full names in there, guys. Just don't put first names. Just so we don't have any confusion later. Okay. Additional information, disclosure material information related to the broker's relationship to the party, such as a personal relationship. Great thing. Eric is representing himself as the owner. I would put in here, Eric is both the broker and owner in this transaction. Man, I can't spell. Other things that you're going to want to disclose. I am the brother of the buyer. I am any kind of relationship at all, guys. You have got to put it in there. It doesn't matter if you're second cousins. It doesn't matter if, whatever it is, guys, any kind of relationships, personal relationships, or prior or contemplated business relationships. Eric and I thought about flipping on this one. Guys, it needs to be disclosed. You need to explain all the stuff that's involved with that. Okay? And then the seller needs to sign and the prospect needs to sign. It is a one-page form. It's very easy to fill out. You just need to let them know both of us work for White Line. Okay? And you also need to let them know, hey, I can't go ask him questions about that property, and he can't come ask me questions about your financial situation. You also have to understand that you have got to stop talking to that agent about this property. It all has to be documented. If you have a question, you need to email them so we have written records of what has been conversed on. So if you're going to talk about the property, you have to do it in a written form, and you cannot, and I repeat, cannot share any information. That is a huge breach of your fiduciary responsibility. Hey, Eric, I know I brought them there and they offered $5,000 less, but they're actually approved for $20,000 more. So go up so I make more commission. No, that is wrong. You cannot do that. You have to get what they want to offer and present what they want to have to offer. Remember, your loyalty is not to your commission. Your loyalty is to your client. Your client is trying to get the best deal possible. Okay? Eric's loyalty, he may go, hey, look, man, I'm actually making $50,000 on this one. You know, you can't go to them and go, hey, I know Eric can actually sell this house for $125 and he'd still be happy. You can't do that, guys. And y'all should not be discussing this either. Any sensitive information needs to stay on opposite sides of the table and cannot be shared. But you need to disclose that you both work for the same broker. Okay? It's a one-page form, super easy to fill out. If you've got any questions, you know where to find me.